I forgot one point. You see, if you are married, right, or you have a partner, right, there's that thing of you are missing your family, or you are missing your siblings or something. There's somebody to cuddle you and hold you. My dear, here you will cry that tears. You look for tissue and wipe it yourself as a single person, because who's gonna console you? There's nobody to console you. But at least if you are married or you have kids, you can hug your children or hug your partner or something. But using the singles, we are going through it, okay? To expect when you move abroad or Australia in this regard. So moving to Australia, reality versus expectation. You know the way when you give your tailor cloth to sew and it's like, this is what you expected, but this is what you're getting. Let's talk about that here today. What are the things you should expect? What are they talking about? My journey as a single migrant who moved to Australia 5 years ago. Guys, I can't believe it's literally 5 years, almost 5 years since I moved to Australia. So hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Lola Lolita. If you're seeing baby girl for the very first time, or crew, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you stay, I hope you enjoy it. Here today we'll be talking about a few things. The first on my list today would be, I have my notes here, so bear with me. If this is your first time here, welcome. If you're a returning subscriber, you are most welcome. Welcome back, guys. Thank you for riding and tuning in. Okay. Today I'll be talking about my journey as a single migrant who moved to Australia 5 years ago. Guys, I can't believe it's literally 5 years, almost 5 years since I moved to Australia. So I moved to Australia in October 2018. I'm filming this in September, but it's October. You'll probably see this video. But anyway, 5 years after, what has it been like for me? What has my journey been like? I'm going to talk about, this video might be different parts. So the first part would be expectations, what you should expect when you move abroad or Australia in this regard. So moving to Australia, reality versus expectation. You know the way when you give your tailor cloth to sew and it's like, this is what you expected, but this is what you're getting. Let's talk about that here today. What are the things you should expect? What are the things that you need to prepare yourself for when coming here? I feel like people don't talk about this enough. I really do. The first on my list is the loneliness that comes with moving abroad as a single person. No jokes, guys. Like when I say the loneliness, I mean the loneliness that comes with moving to Australia as a single person. So I know a lot of people move here as students. So as I was saying, guys, the loneliness that comes with moving abroad. I feel like, it's one thing to be like, people have said it, you might get lonely. But it's another thing to actually experience it. This is the part where it gets lonely. And this is not to discourage anybody. I just feel like on my channel, I tell you guys how it is. I'm here to tell you what you should expect moving abroad. So I was saying, I feel like a lot of people come in as international students, and yeah, a few people do come in for work. When I did come in, I came in for work initially. That'll be a separate video, watch out for that. But we're talking about coming in as someone that is coming to work single. You don't have a spouse, you don't have kids and all of that. It gets really, really lonely, and it gets to a point where you need to learn to enjoy your own company. Solitude, it is something that you have to deal with. There's no choice, because everyone is busy. People are, even people that are schooling, they're working on the side because you can work like 20, I believe 28 hours a week now, 24 hours a week. So 48 hours a fortnight. I might be wrong, but yeah, it used to be 20 hours. But so people are either working or studying. When do you think you have time to go and be visiting people? Please. Let me just tell you something. It's a whole different ball game. You will be shocked at how lonely it gets. And when I say it gets lonely, it's just that thing where there's really no one to visit or everyone is busy. You can't just roll up at somebody's door like we do in Nigeria. I'll talk about that later in the video. But the loneliness is deep. It gets lonely. You need to learn to enjoy your own company, enjoy your own time, find things that you would enjoy doing by yourself. Yeah. It's that simple. Like you need to figure out how you want to work, what you want to do, and all of that by yourself because it does get lonely. And I promise you, you would be able to find something to do by yourself on your own time, whether it's watching TV, reading books, or just sitting in silence and just thinking about your life. You will do that a lot. So that is number one. Number two for me would be the culture shock. And I feel like when people talk about culture shock, I don't know what you're expecting, but a lot of things might surprise you. Number one, some of the culture shocks, please, when people invite you out for dinner, right? For lunch or dinner or brunch, please, if you do not have the money, let me come in closer. If you do not have the money to pay for your lunch, please just tell them you are not available. Tell them you are not available because what happens here in Australia is it German style or what they call it? You pay for your food. So I can invite you for my birthday party here in Australia and you are coming for dinner. My dear, we are splitting bills. Even though I invited you, yes. And you are bringing gifts for me, yes. You are still the one that is going to pay for your food for that day, except they specifically say you are not paying for anything. Just go with the mind that, okay, oh, I have $100 or I have $50 to spend on this dinner. So when you're looking at the menu, don't go and order the most expensive thing on the menu or go and order a bottle of wine and you think your host is paying for it. It will shock you. You will pay for your dinner. When I came, not that I didn't go out with money, but I didn't think it was like a really big thing until like I was invited for dinner. I went for this dinner and it was time to pay. Waiter came and they were like, oh, like telling, because they'll pick out each person what you order. They'll kind of put the order separately. So when it's time to pay, it's like, okay, you spent $40. And I'm looking at it and I'm like, so you people invited me and I'm still paying. So don't be shocked. You have to have your money or you have to have your money because you will come and it will shock you that this person is asking you to pay. You cannot take offense because it's a normal thing. So that is one major culture shock. Number two is people might ask you silly questions about Africa. In fact, they will quote Africa together, not understanding there are so many countries in Africa. Because it's like, why are you not putting the Europeans together? Or, I don't know, the Asians together? It's like Africa is like, oh, do you guys have this thing in Africa? And I'm like, if you're asking me that question, you need to be specific to my country. Because I'm African does not mean I know about all the fruits in all the African countries, for Christ's sake. You cannot ask me that kind of question. So when they ask, I'm like, I can tell you about my country. I don't know about all the rest of the African countries. So those might be things that would shock you. You see all these bills. You see the way in Nigeria, you want to buy card and all of that. And like, you want to buy electricity card. You say I have to go to NEPA. I don't know if now, I might be wrong. I don't know if now, but when I left, those are prepaid. You have to still take yourself to the NEPA office to go and get it recharged. There's nothing like that yet. Your bills, in fact, your bills will come in your email. For me now, my electricity bill, they send it to my email and I have the app on my phone. You pay directly to them. There's nothing like, oh, you have to go to NEPA or you have to go to the bank or something. If you're not Nigerian watching, NEPA, it's no more NEPA, it's PHCN, but growing up we used to call it NEPA. Those are the people, that's the body in charge of electricity in Nigeria. So you would have to go physically to the office to recharge your electricity. But here, there's nothing like that. Your bills, they will find your way to you. Your rent, you just pay, you transfer the money to the agent account every fortnight or every week, depending on your arrangement. Your electricity, the bills, depending on what you picked when you signed up. If you picked for them to send the bills paper copy to you, then make sure you're checking your mailbox. Okay. But if you pick the electronic way, they'll just send it to your email and you will get reminders kind of, oh, your bill is due. Even for insurance, they'll send you message in your email like your insurance is due in like 3 days. These people, they'll remind you that, excuse me, you are owing us money and it's due soon. So just prepare yourself. The reminders are actually really good because it helps you remember like, oh, okay, I need to pay this bill in like 2 days, 3 days, thereabout. Another thing I want to let you know about, my darlings, is you are going to miss your family. And it's not even that thing. I remember when I first moved abroad, you will cry. Some days you would cry yourself to sleep because you just want to hug, like, I want to hug my mother or I want to hug my siblings. That is not happening because, do you know how expensive it is, first of all, to fly home? Do you know how far it is also? Because, and the worst part is sometimes even when you're missing them, calling them is another thing. Time difference. So missing your family, expect that it is a norm. Expect to miss your family because it's just a norm. It's I feel like, I don't know if I'll say with time you will learn to handle it better or manage it better. It gets to a point where it's like, okay, I'm missing them, but I'll take solitude in the fact that now there are like video calls, phone calls, they're a call away, which kind of makes it easier. It makes it easier sometimes. Another thing is phone calls. Because of time difference, best believe I cannot count how many times, because Australia, the time difference is crazy. Best believe you will get calls at random times, very random times. Is it my mother that will call me like 4 a.m., 5 a.m., and then like I'm struggling to open my eyes and I see, okay, it's Momsi calling, and I pick the call. I'm like, hello. And she's like, did I wake you up? My darling, I'm sorry, I did not know. And I'm like, mommy. And then I'm like, it's okay, let's try to talk for a little bit because I'm already awake. So expect that. And it's not that they're doing it because they just want to talk to you also. The same way you are missing them, they are definitely missing you too. So expect calls at random times. Do not be alarmed because it's just a matter of time difference most of the time, where like when my siblings call or my mom calls, they're calling me like midnight here sometimes, and a lot of times I'll pick the calls and it's like, okay, I'm going to work the next day, I'll call you in the morning or something, and then my morning is their night, my night is their morning. So it's like everybody's operating on different schedules, but you need to figure out a middle ground for you guys. Making friends or checking up on people. I've heard of people where they're upset that you did not call them. I'm sorry, I think this thing goes both ways. If I did not call you, you have my number. Why haven't you called me or texted me to? See, you cannot be upset with somebody for living their life. I don't know if you get what I mean. Because it's so easy to get so sucked into whether it's school or study. That's the same thing. Whether it's school or work life, that you might forget to check on your loved ones here and there. So you guys need to work out. I cannot be like, when I remember maybe after 2 weeks or something, I was like, Alpha, I just said I should check in with you. Hope you are doing well. You came to my mind and I said to say I did not now reply my message because what? Lola has not texted you in 2 weeks. Excuse me, sir. Did you have my number? Excuse me, ma. Why did you not text me too? So you cannot be upset about those kind of things. It might be hard to keep up with friends that you've left back home because time difference, everyone is having whatever they are doing going on in their lives. You cannot be upset that you haven't heard from someone, if you really want to talk to them, call them, text them, message them. There's so many ways to access people now, like text, message, DMs, like, so you cannot be upset that somebody hasn't checked up on you. Have you checked up on them too? It goes both ways. So time difference is an issue already, so you cannot be upset about that. Even the people here itself in Australia, have I finished checking up on everybody here? So you cannot be upset about that. Yeah, life might get in the way. With friendship, you have to be intentional. Personally, I feel like making friends as an adult, it's really difficult because you need to find people that you guys align together. One, that you guys you have the same mindset, the same goals. There's something that is linking you guys together one way or the other, whether it's school or work, or like there has to be a common ground one way or the other, because show me your friend and I'll tell you who you are. It's in the Bible. So you cannot be friends with people that you guys do not align. So as adults, it might be you might find out, especially abroad here, that your circle of friends are really small. You can even count them on your fingers. And I feel like you need to be okay with that, because we are very fond of mixing up friends and acquaintances. They are very different. Acquaintances are people, you see them, you people chat about surface things, right? Whereas your friends, you guys go in deep and you talk about things, check up on each other. You cannot be vexing for an acquaintance that did not check up on you. You are just acquaintances. So you need to get the difference straight. I forgot one point. So moving abroad as a single person. You see, if you are married, right, or you have a partner, right, there's that thing of, you are missing your family, or you are missing your siblings or something. There's somebody to cuddle you and hold you. My dear, here, you will cry that tears. You look for tissue and wipe it yourself as a single person, because who's gonna console you? There's nobody to console you. But at least if you are married or you have kids, you can hug your children or hug your partner or something. But using the singles, we are going through it. Okay. So yeah, just expect that as a single person. As a partner, it might be a little easier to a level because you are married, or you are spending your life with someone, you have kids already, you get to hug them and all of that. But yeah, I think that is all I kind of have for this video. Reality versus expectation, things to expect moving abroad. This is my point of view, living abroad for like a decade now. Yeah, but living in Australia for about 5 years of that decade. Yeah. So I hope with these few points of mine, you know what to expect when you are coming into Australia. I hope this video is helpful one way or the other. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you all in my next video. Okay? Bye, guys.